Okay, it's me again. We're going to talk about a few other things that you should know while on your page and navigating around. So let's talk a little bit about what is under the Manage Class link or button, if you will. So if I click on Manage Class, you're going to see a couple different things. So we have what is pretty obvious, which is called Roster. So I'm going to click on that. And what you will find is a list of your students. So as I mentioned in the email that I'm sending out, don't stress too much about this list of kids. This is kind of a revolving target. This is going to change. It will change probably before school starts. This will be changing as we get into the first week of school. I'll be updating this with daily imports. So don't worry too much about this, but what it is nice is it's nice to know that you do have this available to you. You've got two different links. You've got a contact, so you can send an email message. There is also an inbox messaging system that you can use. This email message just sends an email message to them, which is through their Priory Panther account. So that is a nice way to contact them. There's also a manage button, so you could block student access for whatever reason you'd want to do that, but this what is under that button in case you're curious. Creating sections, we'll talk about that momentarily, and probably in another screencast I will show you what that looks like. For teachers, if you happen to be team teaching with another teacher, or if you say you have somebody that you're working with. So for example, for senior project, there are quite a few teachers that are working together. This is where you would see a listing of additional teachers here. You could add them. Their names would appear here. For the most part, I've tried to do that for you. And then different groups, there's also ways that you can group your students together. So if you have some kids that you want to have grouped a certain way, you can do that. So we can talk about that in more detail. But that's basically what's under your roster link. And additionally, under Manage Class, you've got what are called skins. So this is kind of your colors and kind of what makes your website look a little bit interesting. So this is digital photography. These are listed under favorites, but if I click on all skins, I can see all the ones that are offered. So if I click on next, and I'm just going to click on, let's see, Noble. And if I go to apply, it'll ask me if I want to preview what it looks like. So if I choose yes, it will show me actually what the student's view will look like. So although you're not seeing that view, that's actually something that's on their roadmap to fix so that you're able to see what the students are seeing. But although you're not able to see it, this is actually what your students see when they log in and see your class page. So you can have every single one of your pages look different, a little bit custom. So it makes it look a little bit special. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of my preview. Also under Manage Page, under Manage Class, you can share a class. So if I had something that I wanted to share with another teacher, this is the way that I would do it. And it actually allows me to generate a link that I can send to somebody else. So that's how was able to share some of the class information from Moodle to other places. And then importing content, that's how I was able to do that, and making inactive and active. So that's again how we're able to. You'll notice when I go if I look under the My Classes, you actually have an area which says Jump to Inactive Classes. You're actually able to see all of the classes that are in there for the year. And I just have some of your classes are listed as inactive. So you're actually able to start working on those classes that are going to be coming up in quarter 3 and quarter 4. So you can start actually working on those classes. We're just not making them active yet. So that's kind of a nice thing. They're just basically not turned on in essence. Also under Manage Page, this is for this particular page that we're working on. When we're talking about a page, so this is for Manage the class itself. Manage Page is for the page course description. So this particular page here. There's a different page settings that we have. There's not too much under there, but for page layout, this is where we can change the layout for how we want our page to look at. So this is for one column, two columns, three, four. So you can start to add a lot of information on the page. So I can send out some samples to you so you can see what it looks like, or you can just kind of play yourself. And at any time you can change. So if I wanted to do three columns, for example, you can see a little bit about what that would look like. It starts to narrow everything down, but it also allows me to fill in a lot more information, and it starts to look a lot more like a traditional web page that you would see. So you can have fun with that and make changes. Also under that, you can just share a particular page. So say I'm teaching a history class and another teacher is going to be doing something similar. I may not want to share my entire class, but we may be teaching a similar unit. So maybe I want to just share that page. I'm able to do that. So if I click on share page, oops, let me go back, share page. It allows me, if I say invitation, I click continue, it will give me a link. So I can either send via email, or I can, if I click on post your invitation, I'm able to copy this link and then email it to that person. And then when they open up that link, it will allow them to copy it into the class that they choose. So it's actually a pretty cool tool. So you're able to copy back and forth and share content. And it's really meant to be used so that you're not reinventing the wheel and you can really collaborate with one another. So that's kind of a nice feature. The last thing I want to show you is what these little buttons are over here on the side. And I encourage you to hold off on publishing. This is where I made my boo-boo earlier, and how our parents got notified that they had homework over the summer, heaven forbid. This allows you to publish your pages. So this is where, like in Moodle, we could hide things. This is what this does. So this allows you to unpublish or publish your pages. So as soon as I click on this little button, it will allow me to either keep it unpublished, or I can choose to have it published on a certain date. So if I choose to have it published, I can future date it, or I can have it published from a certain time period. So from, say, from this month to this month, and I can make those changes. But for now, keep everything turned off temporarily, and as we get closer to school, then we can start turning things on. Okay, see you guys soon. Have fun.